I think it's alive and well. I think what we've built here in America in terms of the American dream still is a beacon for entrepreneurs all over the world. You can see it today, raising $29 billion, as Paul and I were just talking about, that it's still alive and well. But at the same time, that diaspora of opportunity is all over the world. And so that goes for us here in the US as well, is to make sure that we're not passing it by just because we're not familiar with it, just because we don't know too much about that particular country. Opportunity is all around the world, especially how much AI has democratized access to these markets.
All right, talk to us about AI and how you believe it may impact the workforce. I happen to be in a camp, I hope I'm wrong, that it's going to be a net destroyer of jobs. A lot of folks are telling me you're too short term, Paul, think longer term. Longer term is tomorrow for me. But how do you think about it?
Paul, can't both things be true?
Maybe,
right?
I guess.
Right?
Yep.
I feel like in the short run, will it be a net destroyer of jobs? I'm in that camp. I do think many jobs, many white collar jobs are going to go away. When you think about the automation, and when you think of not just the state of the art, because oftentimes we look at what's the state of the art, but we forget the velocity of the art and how far it's come in 3 years, let alone 6, 9, 10 years in the future. I think short term, there's going to be a lot of disruption. Long term, though, when you look at most technologies, I think there's going to be growth.
Yep. That's what they tell us. Pelgo, talk to us about what you guys are doing at Pelgo, your company here.
So if you believe that that's true, if you believe that there's going to be folks displaced, you look at kind of the steel industry in America, right?
Yep.
You can go to those towns and say, overall, all this kind of the white collarization of the workforce in the U.S. has been a net benefit for the U.S. But you go to the steel belt and you get on in a town square there and you tell them that, I don't think you're going to make a lot of friends.
No.
And so I think that's going to happen with AI. And I think what's happening is that the U.S., like how our society behaves, how our government behaves, we don't have great safety nets for folks. And so when you get displaced by AI, it's not like Europe, it's not like anywhere else in the world where you have a big safety net, you can figure things out, you can retrain. We don't have that safety net. So Pelgo, what we do is we go to the companies and say, hey, there are resources these folks really need. And if you're displacing them, or even if they're leaving voluntarily, there's things that are owed to them, including outplacement, including a safety net. And that's actually who pays for our service.
I have Edward Wong's fabulous Chinese book at my coffee table. It's my next book to get to. And I just want you to discuss the threat of China in AI, in EV, Volkswagen, Michael Barr telling us about, not collapse, that's too strong, but the industrial, broader technological threat of China. Is it legitimate?
It's a hard question to answer. I think when you look at the entrepreneurs themselves, I think most folks are there to build a technology because they like the technology and they see opportunity. But AI is such a powerful market-making and maybe world-making and world-shifting technology that governments invariably need to get involved. And when that happens, it's very hard to say.
So let me speak as an American. Their government is playing with a stacked deck, and they're crushing us short-term on price, a la EV. They're flooding the world. Units, be damned to price. How do we compete?
It's hard. You have to hold them to task with the international regulations, the framework in which we've built the international kind of trade order on. With that said, I think if you're the U.S. government, you have to think about how do we support the entrepreneurs? How do we make sure we don't lose in this race? And I'm not saying that because I'm this kind of person that thinks there's going to be this AI utopia, but I fundamentally believe that this is going to be as important, if not more important, than the internet. And if we were not the leaders of the internet over the last 30 years, take a look at what our economy would have become in that timeline. And so there has to be a certain amount of support and ability for us to compete on the world stage.
Where do you think we are right now vis-a-vis AI, the development, the support, the implementation?
Oh, I love that question because I actually think we're probably in the equivalent of 2099. Things feel a bit frothy. People are starting to say, I don't know if this AI thing is going to be real. Think about 99, 2000. People said the same thing. In 01, it was the death of the internet. But yet 20 years later, almost everything that was promised actually became true. So I think we're in a similar stage of AI development.
Are you moving to Texas or Florida?
Oh, I actually was posed that question recently. So, we incorporated in Delaware. Should have taken a closer look at Texas. Maybe we will. It's good that there's competition out there, not just in Delaware.